Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of the Action Movie Guys podcast, episode 488. We're up to the final film of season 1 of the A&G podcast. Again, we're up to The Fugitive from 1993. I'm your host, Alex Figueroa. My co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
All right, Nate. I'm not going to say you saw this in a movie theater, but you might have with your grandma.
It's possible,
I don't know.
I was 6 in 1993. Okay, I did not see this in the theater. However, I did see this when I was a kid because the part where they're escaping and that guy is foaming at the mouth, it used to scare me when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
So I have a distinct memory of seeing this probably at my house. My parents used to like go to Blockbuster and rent movies and stuff. I'm 99.9% sure they rented this and I saw it when I was maybe like 7 or 8. So I know it that I saw it when I was a kid, but I did not see it at the theater.
Well, let me tell you something. This movie, we'll do it this way.
You've seen this movie way more times than me.
Oh, I saw this movie a lot of times. This movie is funny because if I normally wouldn't say, I wouldn't go, oh yeah, I'm not going to watch this movie because I've seen it 20,000 times. I'm going to watch it regardless with this one. But this is a movie that I could just like quote 20,000 times. But the cool thing is, one thing growing up with this movie was the making of The Fugitive. And that was a big thing. I remember when I was younger, they showed how they did the train scene when he jumps off the train and they show like how they composed it. That was cool. But this movie, Nate, worldwide, okay, on a let me whip out the budget here because this is where it gets really good.
Yeah, this was like the biggest hit of 90. One of the biggest hits of 93.
Yeah, because I don't think I have the budget here.
Because Jurassic Park came out that year, so it did not beat that, but it was a huge hit.
Yeah. Okay, so the budget was $44 million, Nate. Okay. 44. Reasonable, right? A movie about a TV show, and you're going, can this actually work with Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones? Yes, it can. Worldwide, $368 million. Now, that to me smells success for standalone. It's not like you needed to do a sequel or anything of the sort. But they did anyway with U.S. Marshals, with Tommy Lee Jones's character, but not with Dr. Richard Kimball. Like, that was totally different. But this is I'm shocked because I didn't know it was this high. This is a highly successful movie. What do you think?
Yeah, I remember it being a huge hit. Like, this is one of those movies that's like a very popular 90s movie. Not the spectacle, not like Speed or Jurassic Park or, but a huge hit with adults. This is like a thriller with some action in it. And you had Harrison Ford, big star. You had Tommy Lee Jones, lesser of a star, but a well-known actor at this point. You had Andrew Davis directing, Under Siege, a couple other, 90s movies. So you had like all the ingredients there for a hit, a nice budget. It made like almost 8 times its budget. So, big success.
Yeah, it is. Harrison Ford was paid $6.6 million for this role.
Wow.
Now,
that's a fifth of the budget, or like a sixth of the budget.
Right. Now, the crazy thing is, this modern equivalent, the $44 million sounds modest, right? Yeah. If you really think about it. But in today's dollars, it equates to a robust $90+ million. So if they would have shot it now, it would have been more.
And also though, if you got to do the same with the box office, it would have made like $600 million.
Right. It was $600 to $700 million. Yeah. So
no matter how you slice it, this
was a juggernaut. If you want to look at it, this was a box office juggernaut. It's cool that you added it into this final episode. Yeah. Because this movie is just, while it's a TV show, and there was other movies that came out in our recent timeline, a decade. Yeah. Which The Fall Guy, I will use The Fall Guy because that was a TV show and that wasn't as good. If you compare this movie, that was a straight TV show to movie, this one was 100 times better compared to The Fall Guy. But I want you to ask you, what do you think of TV shows turning into movies? Do you think that's something that should just leave alone? Or the success of The Fugitive, you think, man, there's still diamonds in the rough out there with TV shows?
Well, okay. To that question, I think it could still work. I do think it works best, even like The Fall Guy or this, for an example. I do think it does work best when you're using an old show. IP? Yeah. Yes. And when you're making it like a contained movie. So, for example, what I don't like is when you have these TV shows and then they do a movie based off of that show, but it's super tied to the show. For example, like Monk, right? You got Tony Shalhoub, and then it's a Monk movie based off of that show. That I'm not as into, because if you didn't watch the show at all, that movie's not going to make any sense because it's all the same actors and same people. But this, where you're adapting an older show that maybe a lot of people have never seen, or people are older. This movie came out, or the show was probably on a long time ago. Yes, I do think it still works, and it can still work in that regard.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if you take properties that are old and give it a spin, a unique spin.
Green Hornet. That was an old show.
That was,
in the 60s.
That worked too. Actually, that worked. Baywatch didn't work. No. Miami Vice didn't work at all. Could have.
The new one sounds better.
Yes, it does. The new one sounds better. The A-Team worked. The new A-Team worked. Just not many people know the property as much for them to hear.
The best route is taking the name and premise and making your own thing rather than making a movie like sort of continuation of the show. I don't like as much.
I totally agree. All right. Well, with that said, Nate, what did the critics and audience think of The Fugitive from 93?
This is probably why it made so much dang money, because this is a 96% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and an 89% audience. So very high. People like it. Critics liked it. Audiences liked it. And I will say, with movies like this where people are like, oh, the Rotten Tomatoes, blah. Listen, this movie's from 93. Rotten Tomatoes didn't exist then, right? Yeah. So this is also still like modern, current people going on Rotten Tomatoes and leaving a review. So 89 for a movie that was out before the website existed or anything is very good. Like this still, there's people now today who still enjoy this movie. Maybe they're a little older, maybe they saw it growing up. Irrelevant. People are still willing to go and give their thoughts on this film. So yeah, very high scores on both.
Yeah, well, with that said, let's get into the review. Now, this is a leading cast of actors. I mean, when you watch this movie, there is young actors that you're going to see famous now.
Bro, I did not know half of these people were in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me tell you, full disclosure. Full disclosure. This is the first time I've seen this movie as an adult. I've never.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Bro, Dude, I only remember seeing it as a kid. So I just remember moments. Right. I remember the bus because it scared me. I remember the scene where he's like, I don't care. When they were in the water. Because I was like, when I was younger, I was like, that's not nice. That's messed up. He didn't do it. And I remember that the guy with one arm had curly hair. I kid you not. These are like the things that stuck out in my head. Other than that, bro, I didn't know. It was like watching it for the first time. So I'm going to count this as a first time watch because I probably saw this when I was 8 or 9 and then never again. I bought it because I know it. I know The Fugitive's popular. I know it's a good movie. So when the 4K came out, I bought it. I did not watch it because I was waiting for this. So count this kind of as a first time watch, but I mean, not really, but yes. Richard Kimball. I got questions too, and I'll wait till the end. I'm going to wait till we get to overall, but I got questions. Richard Kimball, played by Harrison Ford. Now, I don't want to get anybody mad when I give any of my scores, okay? Because I know this is a beloved movie. But I did not give him a 5. I gave him a 4. I'm going to tell you why. I think this is a good character, but I honestly don't think he's the best character in the movie. And so, there's not a lot. The way the movie works, you're kind of just dropped right in, right? Like, dude is literally, the movie starting, there's like a fight. It's told in a very cool way that I like, where it's like flashbacks and then current time and then flashbacks. Then you go to the court. Dude's arrested. Like, he is a prisoner within the first like 5 or 6 minutes of this movie. He's in jail. He's going to prison. He's going to get executed, all that. So it doesn't give you a lot of time to like even get to know anything about this guy. Then he's on the run. All you know is he's a doctor and he didn't do it. You know what I mean? Like, that is literally his character. Does he love his wife? I guess. I don't know. You don't really see anything with the two of them except when he has these dreams and she's like, oh, I love you. But there's none of that. He has that friend who ultimately is the villain. So they have some sort of relationship that goes back. I don't know. I don't think it's an amazing character, but I don't think it affects the movie, is I guess what I'm kind of get at. Like, this is not an iconic, to me, it's not an iconic Harrison Ford role, not even close. He's really good in it. I think his performance is really good. He does a good job. He does that I'll save that for action. Yes, I like him. I think he's good. I gave him a 4, though. He's not a 5. I don't think he's a perfect character.
Okay. Well, I gave him a 5.
I knew it was coming.
So this is why I think Dr. Richard Kimball, to me, is one of Harrison Ford's iconic character. And I'm not talking about iconic as Indiana Jones and Han Solo. But if you name his top 5 characters, and I'm talking about top
Jack
5,
Ryan?
Jack Ryan, Dr. Richard Kimball, Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford, and then there will be one more lingering out there that you will go.
The president from Air Force One.
The president from Air Force One, right? But at the end of the day, Richard Kimball is top 3 or top 4 of that list because this movie is, it made him global, into a superstar. Yeah. So besides that, this is iconic role for Harrison Ford. Now, him as the character, believable as hell. I was like, even watching it, I'm like, man, I haven't seen this movie in ages. Now, while I do watch it a lot, I haven't watched this in recent years. And I was like, this dude is believable. Now, we watch movies with actors that play doctor roles, and they are not good as doctors. AKA Bruce Willis in Death Wish.
I knew you were going to say Bruce Willis. That's what I was thinking the same thing. Why did they make him? He's an architect in the original. He's a freaking doctor.
He's right. That, me and you said it. We were like, this dude is not believable as a medical person. Harrison Ford looks like a surgeon. Like, you could believe he's a surgeon, and talks like a surgeon. Like, he just embodies the medical. You go, oh yeah, I kind of see him. It feels like he is a medical doctor in that world, a heart surgeon. Because I think that's why he's like a heart or brain surgeon. But anyway, so yes, the way he has chemistry with Tommy Lee Jones's character, very well. I think he works well, even with his wife, Helen Kimball. Amazing. I thought they were good. Now, they did have more scenes together during the beginning of the movie where they're in the office party. He's taking her away from the men. He was like, settle down, boys. And they're having their banter, and you could tell he wants to bang his wife. And then they're driving back home, and Sykes call him and says, you got to go back to the office. And she goes, I'm not going to wait up too late. He goes, oh, I'll be home quick. So you got a little taste of it. I agree with you. You don't get much of Helen Kimball and Richard together, but it gives you the sense that they're in love together. Like, you can see that they're in love, and they're a great couple. Like, if you see them together, I was like, they actually look really good together.
Yeah. What was her Celia Ward?
Celia Ward. Yeah, I always had a crush on her. Yeah, I always had a crush on her. She's very gorgeous. So she was good. Now, going down the line in the movie, my only gripe with Richard Kimball was, while he is a surgeon, while he is, whatever you want to do, I just got a little far-fetched because I'm like, this dude is kind of like espionage-y. Like, he knows how to like get away from the radar and dye his hair and cut his hair and how to blend in with everyone and make IDs. And I'm like, dude, you're a surgeon. Like, where the hell did you get all these skills from? Which I'm okay with it because it's a movie, and I know they didn't give you much back order.
That I just thought of would be, and they kind of do it, but not. I don't think it's intentional. But wouldn't it be funny if throughout the movie he only goes to hospitals because he's a doctor, and so he knows how hospitals work, and because he does multiple times go to hospitals. Yeah. But wouldn't it be funny if he only went to hospitals so they keep like, this hospital, now he's at this hospital, because he knows how to get the drugs, the food.
It makes sense. It does make sense. But my only thing is just the skills that he's using to go into these hospitals. I'm a little like, oh, okay. I'm a little, But that's other than that, I think in terms of Richard
personality
Kimball,
to me,
he's just a dude just trying to get his
dude.
The thing I like about him though in this movie, Nate, is the fact that he's just a dude, but he's just there to clear his name. Like, he didn't kill it. Like, and that's what I like. They don't give him side projects. Like, it's just, he's just there to one thing. I just want to clear my name, and that's it, and get the right person that killed my wife. And I that's what I kind of like about the movie, and that's why I give him a 5, because in terms of body of the Richard Kimball character, while you could lengthen it and do some crazy thing like he was an ex-military guy, because that's what they would have done if they were filmed now. He would have been an ex-military medical person, and he has now hand-to-hand combat. He knows how to use guns in situations, and I would have been like, no, I kind of like this as an everyday normal man trying to clear his name from his wife's murder. So I gave it a 5. I thought it was really good. Now, Tommy Lee Jones falls under this character too. That's why I kind of gave it a 5, because I don't think he's bad.
Oh yeah, if I factored him in, he's the best character in the movie. That's what the point I was making. Because
they're both leads. I mean, Tommy Lee Jones is on the screen for a lot of time.
Tommy Lee in the lead, like good guy, because he almost functions as a villain as well, because he's trying to catch him the whole time. So I didn't know where to put him. I think he's the best character in the movie. He's the most interesting. Every time he's on screen, I'm like, yes.
Fun fact, he won the Oscar for this role.
Okay, if we're going to put him in lead, I'm going to change my score to 5. If that's what we're going to
No. You have to. I mean, see, the thing is, well, I'll do my thing. I'll let you do your stuff because you didn't know where to put him. So I'll let you take over with Tommy Lee Jones, and then I'll just finish off so we go to the lead villain.
I was confused. Okay, I'm going to put him here, because ultimately he does help him at the end, right? Like once the more they go and he's behind, he starts to see, okay, this guy Kimmel's actually like kind of solving this thing. And he's willing to help him. You know, Kimball saves him at the end when he's going to get shot. He hits the guy. So if we're going to put him as there, then I'm going to change my score from a 4 to a 5. Because I do think that his character is the best character in the movie. No wonder he won an Oscar. He's chewing the scenery, but in a good way. You know, he's not annoying. He's not over the top, but he's kind of funny. But he's a dog. He's like a dog looking for his bone. You know what I mean? Like he's going to get this guy no matter what. Some nice moments, interactions where they're both there, but he's always a little bit behind. And that's to your point. Like, how is this guy who's a professional U.S. Marshal bounty hunter guy can't catch up with this doctor? And that's where it's a little far-fetched, but it worked. You know, you need the movie. He needs to be a fugitive. Yeah. You can't just be getting caught in the first 5 minutes. So I'm going to change to a 5. I think he's the best character. I love him. No wonder he got his own spin-off sequel, and U.S. Marshal's a good movie too. So I got to add it to it. We'll have it in the future. But I will change my score to a 5 because I think he's great in this movie.
Yeah, to piggyback what you said, I think what worked for me with Tommy Lee Jones is the fact that the way the script worked for Tommy Lee Jones made you feel like it worked as a cop. Like he's bad. Like, so he's gonna go after this guy first because he's bad at the end of the day until, like you said, he's like, wait a minute, why is this guy going through all this trouble, going back to try to solve his own crime? Like there's something wrong here.
Saving the little kid.
Let me tell you something. That is to me so heartfelt. Like even watching it now, like I got like a little, not choked up, but I was like a little like, damn, that was his, like the way the camera looked at Harrison Ford, and he had like that sense of like, I finally did something good with his skills. Like he could do what he was born to do. He was a surgeon and helping that kid out. And that was a turning point for that character, Tommy Lee Jones, when he said, how's the boy? And then she was like, oh, he saved his life. And he was just like, wait a minute, like, why is this guy saved? Because he saved the cop in the beginning, remember? Yep. When he was walking away, he was like, oh, he has like, a puncture or whatever, on the right rib. He was like, how the hell did he know that? And he's pushing him in. Like, he saved the cop. And of course, the cop is going to testify that he's the one that grabbed him and pushed him out the train before he got hit. Yep. The fact that he saved the little boy. So Tommy Lee Jones like, bro, he was like, I want to get all the files on Richard Kimball, and they give it to them. And those cops are so buffoon, but we'll talk about them.
They're funny though, at least.
Oh, they're funny, but funny, yeah. Tommy Lee Jones and Bobby, your boy, the captain from Bad Boys, they have the best chemistry. That team of U.S. Marshals, oh, dude, they were so good on screen together. He's like, that's what happens when you mess with the big dog. He's like, you're in the big dog no more. Like, they had some cool banters. But anyway, with that said, 5 across the board here. Let's get to main villain here. Now, you got Nichols, which is his best friend.
And the one-armed man. The
Sights. Yeah, you got him. So yeah, and the 2 police officers that think that he did it at all costs.
Right.
So what you got?
Okay, because initially I kind of had Tommy Lee in this role because through most of it he's not an antagonist per se, but he's going after our hero that we're supposed to like and trying to get him. Now, when we remove him from the equation, I gave it a 3. I think they're fine. I think Nichols. We'll start with him because he's ultimately the final bad guy, right? It's too obvious. It's a little too obvious. Like he's not going to give him, like he doesn't give him up. You know, he helps him a little bit, but because he doesn't want him to know that he's the one that tried to kill him, you know, because that's more for storyline, but it has to do with like this pharmaceutical. And then Kimball discovers that it's actually giving people like a disease. So it doesn't work as well. And then this guy's like changing the results because it's all about money. As they made like $7 billion or whatever. So, you know, he's not giving up because he's also trying to cover up. He wants to make sure he doesn't seem like he's guilty. Fairly generic, but I think he does a pretty good job in the role. You know what I mean? So he's okay. The one-armed man, I just like calling him the one-armed man because that's what
I think his name is Sykes, yeah.
Yeah, the one-armed man. He had curly hair at the beginning and then he has not curly hair later. He gets a haircut. He's okay. He's a henchman. You know what I mean? He just hired to do the job. Just kill this guy and kills his wife instead. Big mistake. And then fought him and still didn't kill him before he left. So he's not even good at his job. Then he has him on the train. He has him dead to rights. Shoot him. He's like, this is my stop. Oh, this is my stop too. Oh, then the cop comes in. He says, Kimball. And he shoots the cop. Let the cop arrest. Bro, he's he's a terrible henchman. He's not good. But he's iconic because he got one arm. And that's a unique character. so there's that. And then the cops, to your point, yes, they're buffoons, but they're endearing. You know, like Joey Pants, my boy Joe Pantoliano in this. I love him. He's always good. Then you got the guy. I love Tommy Lee Jones' interactions with all of them, though. I like the lady. She's not playing games. The black guy. Bro, she's like, we're gonna catch this guy. I don't even care. I like the ponytail guy. It's like, don't let them make fun of your hair. He's just like, okay. He like just says okay, like, yeah. So I kind of like that element. They're fun. They add a little bit of humor to this movie because it's a serious movie, but when they're around, there's like a little bit of humor that I think actually really works. So, but I don't think none of them are memorable. I couldn't tell you this. I will forget Nichols' name in like 2 or 3 days after the movie's gone. So I give it a 3 though. I think it's solid.
Yeah, when it comes to Dr. Charles Nichols, I gave him a 3 also. So the only reason I gave him a 3, I was gonna lower it, but the only reason I gave him a 3 because he was his best friend and pretty much wanted to kill him and, like you said, by mistake, killed the wife. And I don't think he wanted to kill the wife. She was just an innocent bystander during that whole situation. Yeah. But yeah, he's just a typical best friend turned bad because he wanted more power, more money. And Richard Kimball was the better surgeon anyway. He was like the best surgeon, I think, in Chicago, I believe. He was like the top dog of how much he was making. From what Tommy Lee Jones was reading off the stuff, he was like, man, this guy gets paid.
He said he's already rich. Because they were like, oh, he killed the wife for the money. He's like, why? He's already rich. That doesn't make any sense.
That was my favorite scene. He was like, he did it for the money. And they were like, what? They started laughing.
He's rich. And then she's like, she's richer. It's like, but still, if she's alive, he could just enjoy her money and his.
It was just buffoonery. I mean, they needed to have stupid cops and they had the stupid cops. Right. But anyway, Dr. Nichols, you're right. He's just a generic bad guy. He does fight. I mean, they had a cool fight sequence in the rooftop. He was like, get the helicopter away. And he was like, why? I don't want to get shot. So that was cool. And then they fall into the elevator shaft and then they have the cool sequence, the typical 90s in the laundry chute, you know, the area of always in there. So I don't know. At the end of the day, Dr. Charles Nichols, just a generic guy. That's why I gave him a 3. Sights, the one-armed bandit. I agree with you. He's not memorable. Only thing because he was the one-armed guy that killed her. And I thought that was pretty good. At the end of the day, I thought it was pretty good. All right. Now, let's get to action sequences. What you got?
Uh-oh. Okay. I don't know. Listen, nobody come after me. Okay. Leave me alone. Not a lot of action. This is one of those weird movies where there's a lot of momentum. Like, I think the pacing's really good. I think the movie moves at and that's almost the action is that it's constantly going. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a lot of slow parts in this. There's not a lot of but you get the escape sequence, has a little bit of action in it, right? With the bus and the train. Then you have the elevated train scene, of course. You do have a foot chase, right? He's running away. They're chasing after him. You get helicopters flying. But it's nothing like, and Andrew Davis is a good action director. Don't get me wrong. He's done, we saw Under Siege. That's an action movie. We have another one coming up that he did with Keanu Reeves called Chain Reaction. Like, that has a little more action in it. This one, I would say it's more of a thriller with some action in it. So I only gave it a 2. I do not think there's anything in this that's like amazing, but the pacing is almost the action functions as the action. So I don't know. It's a weird movie in that regard. As an action movie, it's not like amazing action. You get a little bit of shooting, a little bit of fighting, nothing too spectacular. But it's a 2 for me. This is the weakest part of this movie in our scoring system. It's not a bad thing on the movie, but we're an action podcast, and that in that regard, it's the weakest part.
So that's the interesting part about this whole situation is because if you look at it in a whole, while it's not an action Schwarzenegger and Stallone's type of movie, it's not. And you said it right. This is more of a thriller of a film, like who killed his wife, and he's trying to solve that mystery. Like he's trying to from going to point A to point B while the U.S. Marshals are in his way to getting that answer to the puzzle of who killed Helena Kimball, right? And along the way, there is not much action sequences, which I totally agree with you. Harrison Ford, and that's why I kind of like the character Richard Kimball, because he is not an action star. He's not. Yep. This is just a doctor on the run trying to get the killer that killed his wife. Now, along the way, is there some action sequences? Yes and no. In the beginning, train sequence, action sequence, which was very well done, very well shot. I agree with Nate on that one. Now, from there, fast forward, there is the scene in the bridge where he's about, he holds the gunpoint at Samuel Gerard, which is Tommy Lee Jones' U.S. Marshal. He's like, I didn't kill my wife. He goes, I don't care. And then he runs off. He didn't shoot him. And then he does the Peter Pan off the dam. Legendary sequence, right? Yeah. Again, not an action sequence, but it was a sequence. He jumps off a Hoover Dam into the water. Great. From there on, there is nothing. There is just straight up cat and mouse chase right there. Like it's just between the two. He's outdoing them in a lot of sequences. And you're right, there is not action sequence. The next one is when he's in the courthouse. And I love that scene. He was like, there's a man waving a gun at his wife. And then, he was like, Kimbo. And then he shoots at the plexiglass, right? The bulletproof glass. And he's like, man, this guy is mad lucky. And then he runs off into the St. Patrick's Day parade. That's another sequence. And then from there, it goes right into when he finds the final piece, he knows his best friend is the one that killed him. And then he goes right into the hotel. And that was my favorite scene of the whole movie. He's like, you switch the samples. And he goes, oh, my friend Richard here, he's not feeling well. He's like, you switch the samples. And then he pushes him and the whole crowd's like, oh. And then he was like, so then you got the whole 90s fight in the roof. So you're right. At the end of the day, I give it a 3. I thought it was good for this story. I thought it was good. You had enough. And it's crazy to say because for myself, I thought they had enough action in this movie for the story. I thought it was more believable with a guy that has no hand-to-hand skills. He's just a normal Joe that could punch someone. He does not use a weapon. He just holds a gun. He doesn't shoot a gun. So he hits someone with a pipe. That's the most thing he does. He has a pipe he hits someone with. He holds the gun. He points it. That's it. And he just has a normal hand-to-hand fight with his best friend that is not like hand-to-hand Jason Bourne style. It's just a normal two guys fighting. So to me, it's a 3, but it was good. I thought it was good, and I was intrigued, and it carried the story where it needed to go to find that missing puzzle. So I gave it a 3. Now, storyline.
5. Best part of the movie, hands down. I think it's a great story. It's very interesting and never boring. Literally 0 boring parts, which, for thrillers, even thrillers like this, like Man on the Run type movies, sometimes there's like little moments where it's like, okay, this is not, and this has moments where maybe it's a little less interesting, but it never stops. This movie has amazing pacing, and because the story is intriguing, he didn't do it, right? And that's what I like. I like that they did not go down the route of, well, did he maybe do it? Or was it someone else? No, in the very beginning, he didn't do it. You see a curly-haired guy killing the wife. You see him downstairs. You see him, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not him. But you don't know who did it, and you don't know why they did it. And that's the mystery, rather than did he or did he not. I'd rather we know the guy didn't, and you're on this journey with him of like, damn, I felt bad for him in the first 5 minutes. Because you're going to get executed. And it's like, what?
By lethal injection.
Yeah, what kind of lawyer did he have? They play a tape, the 911. She's like, Richard, he killed me. Or, I'm dying, Richard. It's like, that doesn't mean she's saying he did it. But I don't know, his lawyer must have sucked. Anyway, so I think it does an amazing job with the storytelling. Again, great dialogue. Everything Tommy Lee Jones says is gold. Literally, all his lines are fantastic. There's some humor in here. There's the chase elements. There's some drama. You know what I mean? I agree with you. I really like the part where he's saving all these people as he's going on the run. It's like, he tells them something, steals the ambulance, helps other kid, escapes. I think all of those sequences work because they show that, hey, look, not only did he not do it, he's still willing to help people on his journey of, trying to solve it. So I love a good mystery. I love thrillers. I love 90s thrillers in general, all kinds of them. So This is right up my alley story-wise. I really think it's fantastic. I gave it a 5.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just piggyback. I gave it a 5 also. I think this story is phenomenal. I thought it was good. Everything you said is like spot on. There's nothing wrong with the movie at all. I thought this was really good. I miss this type of stories like now. We don't get much of the man on the run style of stories. I thought it's really good. I can't see no flaws on this. And I love the fact that even within them trying to get Richard Kimball, they still had a scene in the movie when they went to get the black guy in the house. Remember when they hijacked? That was a bad good scene.
I got you, man. I got you, man. I want a car out front, and then he gets shot. I was like,
yeah. And then Newman was like, I'm not gonna hear for a while. He goes, can you hear this? And he goes, what? He goes, I don't negotiate.
See, like that's gold, bro. Like, whoever wrote that.
It is. So, and again, it takes the focus away from Richard Kimball because whenever Richard came back on screen, you already know that he had time ahead from the cops because they were doing already something ahead of time and they still can't find them. So again, genius camera work, genius pacing throughout the movie, like you said. Great story, no flaws at all. So 5 across the board here. All right, Nate, what did you give the overall of The Fugitive?
Now, I just checked. This was written, and I remember seeing the name, and I was like, oh, wait a second. I know this guy. So this is a guy named David Twohy. He wrote the story, and he had a screenplay writing. He wrote, as far as action goes, he also wrote Waterworld, which we did. He did G.I. Jane, which is a cool movie. But he's the Riddick guy. He did Pitch Black, he did Chronicles of Riddick, and he did Riddick. But those he wrote and directed. So this is a guy who's actually done some stuff. A Perfect Getaway, which is a great movie. So actually, no wonder, because he's made some pretty good films along the way. Okay, overall, I gave it a 4. But again, I'm doing this through the lens of an action movie. To me, it's a 4 out of 5 action movie guys movie. I think it's a great movie though. And again, I think if I watch this more times, it could go up to a 5 for me. This is my first time again seeing it really as an adult. But it definitely has a rewatchability. I feel like it will. Like I will enjoy watching this again in the future. I think it has great pacing. Amazing cast. The ones I did not know, Jane Lynch is in this movie. Julianne Moore is in this movie. They're just doctors who have like a couple of scenes. Like, again, I didn't know Joe Pantoliano was in this movie. All I remembered was Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. That's all I remembered. And that guy who foams at the mouth and scares me. Even that cop with the mustache, he's in a bunch of things. The one who says that he died in the train and they bring the thing and Tommy Lee Jones like, you know what I hate finding? Chains with no legs in them. It's so funny. Yeah, it's a great movie. I really like it. I see why it's popular. My question was, and you're not going to know because I don't think you've ever seen the show. It was from the 60s. But this works so good as a movie. I can't imagine, especially multiple seasons of the same guy being on the run. Like, there's only so much you could do before it's like, then it's just, how many hours of it is him just running away and escaping? I don't know I almost think it works better as a movie than I could imagine it being as like a show. Personally, this is a weird premise for a show is what I'm getting at. Someone murders doesn't murder his wife. He's on the run. Like maybe a season, if it went multiple seasons, I have no idea what else you could do with this premise. You're just dragging it out forever and ever. Don't tell me it's like 5 seasons long.
So I looked it up. This TV show went from 1963 to 1967. 4 seasons.
Oh my gosh. That's too many. I can't imagine it being like that.
It says it is a tense, character-driven thriller that follows Dr. Richard Kimball, a wrongfully convicted patriotic searching for his wife's real killer, the one-armed man, while dodging a relentless police lieutenant. So I guess it's just, they changed it. I mean, okay, so it's not,
I'm imagining, I can see how it could work over multiple episodes like that, but like, it's literally just going to be the same thing every week. He almost gets caught. He gets away. He almost gets caught. He gets away. I feel like it works good as a movie because you could do all that in a 2.5 hour, 2 hour, 20-minute time. Or this movie's 2 hours and 10 minutes. Perfect. And then get out.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, there's other iterations of this film. Just to let everyone know before we tie up this last show. They had 2 other Richard Kimball stories. They had the 93, which Oscar award-winning thriller starring, of course, Harrison Ford as Dr. Kimball, and then Tommy Lee Jones as U.S. Marshal pursuing him. in the 2000s, there was a 2000s TV series, a short-lived reboot on CBS starring Tim Daly as Kimball Michaeliki Wilkinson as the Marshal.
Okay.
Don't know who he is. And then on 2020, a QB series was a fast-paced action update. That was another one.
Oh, Quibi. That was Quibi was that thing where all the episodes were like it's 7 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Quibi's short for quick bites. It was like little tiny episodes.
So they did that version of Dr. Richard Kimball.
Sounds garbage.
It's very garbage. But at the end of the day, I totally agree with you. I don't know how you could do this for 4 seasons, but you could. If you look at it, you could stretch out some of the scenes. But the movie is the best format, and I think this is the best version of The Fugitive. You gave it a 4? You gave it a 4. I gave it a 5. I think this movie's phenomenal. I think the pacing is great. The acting is great. The script is great. Lackluster. Not lackluster is the wrong word to say, but it's minimal action, more story, character driven thriller type. It's not an action thriller. It's more of a thriller, mystery style story. Great leading cast, supporting actors. It's crazy. The more we watch these movies in 90s and certain 90s had some great actors in small roles. Like you said, Julianne Moore was such a small role, but character was really big and vital to the story. Jane Lynch's character was friends with Dr. Richard Kimball. So again, she was good in the movie. Your boy from Bad Boys, the captain, he's really good. Yeah. Remember, he was like, "Hey, Peter Pan from right here." He's like, "Holy Christ! Now we can go back home." He goes, "No. I want hounds. I want helicopters."
Oh yeah, he's like, he's dead. He's like, "Well, it should be easy to find the body."
Yeah, I want you to comb the river. Yes. But yeah, and the way they introduced the U.S. Marshals, I think it makes it even fun, right? Because he's letting the other cop lead the thing, and that was my favorite scene, right? And he was like, when you said that with the shackles and stuff, and he goes, "Oh, we're going to let Wild Earp here." Goes, "Oh, that's funny. That's real funny." He goes, "Wild Earp, that's really funny." Yeah, that was really funny. But anyway, at the end of the day, I gave it a 5. You gave it a 4. Okay, total points.
Total points for me is a 19 out of a 25. I think it's a great movie. I really enjoyed it. Again, feels like a first time watch because I barely remembered anything, and everything I did remember happens in the first 10 minutes of the movie. So yeah, it's really good. I enjoyed it. What I meant to say is Harrison Ford, earlier I stopped myself. He does that super old guy, old movie style punch when they're on the train where he's like, he does this. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so stupid. It made me laugh. And then after the rest of that fight's pretty good. But he's like, it's that Indiana Jones punch. You know the one. It's like
the one pinch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like old Hollywood style fight scenes. He's like, I'm not doing nothing crazy. He probably does it in Air Force One too.
He does when he goes, "Get off my plane." Yeah.
We're gonna from now on this podcast, it'll be known as the Harrison Ford punch. Well, he does the Harrison Ford punch in this movie. It made me laugh. But yeah, great movie. I really enjoyed it. 19.
I gave it a 21 out of a 25. It's a fantastic film. Looks great on 4K.
Yeah.
Sounds great on 4K. I can't wait to do U.S. Marshals. I haven't seen that sequel in years.
Dude,
years.
I remember. There's another one. It will be like the first time because I have not seen it in forever. All I remember is Wesley Snipes is on the run this time.
Robert Downey Jr. joins
Jr.'s in it.
Yeah, he joins. Yeah.
Joey Pantoliano's back. He's back.
No, the whole team is back. I know that the whole team from the Fugitive is back. I remember it's mad good.
But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't have quite the reputation of the Fugitive.
But we'll see if it should be considered as the best.
Good point. Good.
Yeah, we should see if it should. But anyway, other than that, Nate, we're closing out season 1 of our TV shows turned into movies. You want to let everyone know what season 2 is going to be?
So season 2. Now we're going to be doing in the future. At the end of these seasons, we have a wheel spin. We're going to spin this wheel. It's going to be random. However, these first 2 seasons, we had them all set up, good to go. This is going to be a very distinct turn from TV shows turned movies. We are going to a place that some people love and some people love less. We're going to be going to the dusty old West because we're going to be covering a bunch of Westerns. So I'm going to go ahead and give just really quick the titles for everybody who listens. And if they want to watch along, and of course we'll update it at the end of each thing. But we're going to be doing a Fistful of Dollars. We're going to be doing Joe Kidd. We're going to be doing For a Few Dollars More, The Outlaw Josie Wales, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, High Plains Drifter, Unforgiven, Pale Rider. And if you're listening and you're like, those are all Clint Eastwood, you're correct. That's why they're all grouped together like that. Clint Eastwood. Then we're going to leave Clint and we're going to go with some Young Guns, little 80s Western, Wyatt Earp, Appaloosa, Jonah Hex, which is a comic book Western. I wanted to mix it up a little bit, not just do only that old style of Western. Django, the spaghetti Western, not Django Unchained, the spaghetti Western. Extreme Prejudice, which is like a modern Western set in the 80s. It was modern. And then we're going to be doing Gunfight at the OK Corral, the original Magnificent Seven, because we already did the remake. The Quick and the Dead, which is a 90s Western. And we wrap it all up with our buddy, and he's going to be joining us for all these episodes, our intern. You know him, you love him, Scott. I think it's his favorite, which is The Wild Bunch. I put it last just so he could be happy and go out with a cherry on top. So no Wild Wild West on this. That could have been on the TV shows turned movies.
It could have.
I do have it in a future season. It's just under something else. But that is the 18 movies. I'm not going to lie, Alex. I'm looking forward to it. But I would be lying if I was like, I'm super excited. Because Westerns are very hit or miss for me. So this is going to be the way Spielberg Spotlight, where we got to all them kids movies and old historical, was kind of like you got through it. Some of these might be me getting through it. I do love some of these. So we'll see how this goes. But I'm excited to talk with y'all because I know you and Scott are like Western dudes. I'm just here for the ride, to be honest with you.
Well,
the horse
it's
ride.
funny so everyone knows out there. Before we close this out, I had to pull Nate's leg to go into season 2.
I was trying to avoid this.
Yeah, you were trying to avoid it, and I was like, dude, no way. So with Westerns, I love Westerns. Nate, not so much on the genre. Now we're bringing in Scott because Scott loves Western movies, and that's the only reason we're bringing him in. He knows his Westerns. So we'll go into it as much as we could with the Westerns. Yes, the first 8 films are going to be Clint Eastwood centric, like centered around Clint Eastwood. Then we're going to branch off into 8 random. I have not seen 4 out of the ones that we have you listed.
Ooh,
like Apocala or whatever it's called.
Appaloosa?
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I never seen Young Guns.
Okay.
There was a few other ones.
You haven't seen Jonah Hex, I thought.
I never seen Jonah Hex, a DC movie. So
you've never seen Young Guns? That's like Emilio Estevez.
Yeah, I know.
For Sutherland.
Never
you're going to like it. So, you're probably going to love it. And I'm going to be like, this is a silly goose movie.
Yeah, most likely. So, and then again, so we're going to have fun with that. So yeah, season 2 is going to come up abrupt. So this one ends.
Jumping in, baby. Yep.
And then we're kicking it right back in with the old Western. I'm going to kick it in with the first movie, which is what? A few dollars more?
Fistful of Dollars.
A Fistful of Dollars. Yeah. So we're going to kick it off with that. And then we'll take it away from there. So, Nate, anything you want to say before we close out?
No, this was a lot of fun. TV shows turned movies. I think the season format's great. I hope you guys are enjoying it. This one doesn't have any franchises in it, but moving forward, there will be seasons with franchises included because there's still a lot we haven't done. We haven't done Jurassic Park. We haven't done Fast and Furious. There's a few other ones. So, we're mixing them all in. We got a lot of fun seasons on the horizon. That wheel spin's going to be fun because there's a lot of like ones that could be really cool to do. So we'll see how this goes, but I can't wait for these Westerns.
All right. All right, guys. There you guys have it. That's the Action Movie Guys podcast episode. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Geeks and Flicks, for reviews, unboxings, and more. And you can also follow us on Instagram at Geek and Flicks, and make sure to follow the podcast on your favorite platforms so you never miss an episode. Till then, be awesome to each other and geek out.